It's Christmas time and we're back for our Week 16 picks. But first, let's go for our Week 15 recap.
In Week 15, we had two games that were different. The Broncos pulled it out against the Cardinals, and the Raiders pulled it out in a crazy game against the Patriots. I picked both of those games correctly, and so that puts me two more games ahead. I am now 143 and 81, while Aiden is 137 and 87. I am 6 games up with 3 weeks to go.
Not looking good for me. Maybe I can make a comeback this week.
Still lots of time.
Yeah. What is your game ball for this week?
My game ball is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Rayshon Jenkins had a great game, 18 tackles with 2 interceptions, including the game winner in overtime. Trevor Lawrence has been great lately. Since November, 14 touchdowns, 1 interception. They're playing good right now. I think the game ball goes to the Jags. How about your game ball?
My game ball goes to the Houston Texans.
Wow.
They went to overtime with the Chiefs. They stayed with them. I could have put them as my dumpster fire for ruining another upset, but I decided to put them as a game ball for sticking with the Chiefs. That's not an easy thing to do. Most teams can't do that, and the Houston Texans did at home. They've looked good. They've almost upset the Cowboys and the Chiefs these past 2 weeks. Game ball, Houston.
So who is your dumpster fire then?
My dumpster fire, Jacoby Myers.
Oh, yes.
He went from a hero, he got the 2-point conversion to get it to 24, and then to a villain for throwing that lateral to the wrong team, in case he hadn't noticed. Wasn't a good play. It was going to go to overtime anyway. You didn't need to lateral. You could have just gone out of bounds or gotten tackled. Jacoby Myers, you know better than that. Come on, man.
My dumpster fire goes to the Indianapolis Colts. The biggest comeback in NFL history. You're up 33-0 at halftime. How do you give up that many points? Even near the end of the third quarter, they were still up 33-7. And then they end up losing 36-33. Unbelievable. Colts into the dumpster fire. There's no way you should give up that many points. Quinnen Williams is back for this game. I don't think it'll make much difference. The Jets don't have much of a run game. They're going to depend on Zach Wilson to throw the ball. He did make some throws last week. But I think the Lions found out the secret against the Jets. There was 66 offensive plays for the Lions last week. They threw it to Sauce Gardner. He was targeted 0 times. They never threw to Sauce Gardner. I think the Jags will keep that up. I think they've seen that. Trevor Lawrence is playing really well, like I said in my game ball. I think they continue the streak. I'm taking the Jags in this one.
Yeah, the Jags have been trending up lately. They just have been doing the opposite, with losing quite a few. I also think the Jags are going to win here. Trevor Lawrence has taken a step forward from last year. That defense has done great in the past few games. I'm taking Jacksonville to upset the Jets in New York. We're not sure about Lamar Jackson's status yet, but I don't think it's going to matter. This is going to be a really close game. Both teams have decent defenses, and both teams have not so decent offenses. I'm still going to take the Ravens here. I think they'll be able to win this one at home. Ravens will stick in the playoff picture.
Yeah, even though both teams are fighting for a playoff spot, the Falcons can still win their division at 5-9. I think the Ravens playing at home will win. Hopefully Dobbins is playing. Hopefully Lamar Jackson is playing. I don't think it'll make much difference either. I'm taking the Ravens too. In order to win this game, the Panthers are going to need to run more than the 21 yards that they managed to get against a very good Steelers team. I don't think they're going to get it done. Yes, the Lions are not as good on run defense, but I think they'll be able to hold enough. The Lions are the hotter team, and I think they're going to beat the Panthers fairly easily in this one.
The Lions are on a hot streak, and the Panthers did just lose last week. I'm also taking the Lions here. I think that they're going to win again, continue that hot streak, maybe get a playoff spot, and the Panthers will lose. The only good player on the Bears is Justin Fields, and his defense kind of sucks. They're not helping him out. The Bills' offense is very different from the Bears' offense. The Bills will easily win this game and clinch the AFC East.
Yes, I think so too. The Bills have one mission: stop Justin Fields. If you can stop Justin Fields, you stop the Bears. There's no chance the Bears win. Bills will win big. This could be a very similar game to the Browns-Ravens last week. Low scoring, both defenses doing well. I think both offenses have trouble turn over the ball, but this time I think the Saints come out on top. I don't think the Browns will take this one. I think the Saints will win the turnover battle. They'll be able to squeeze out the win in a very close game.
Deshaun Watson just had his first Cleveland win last week at home. He's at home again this week. The Saints also had a win last week. I'm also going with the Saints here. I think the Saints defense will be able to stop Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, etc. I think the Saints offense, with Chris Olave leading that, I think they'll be able to produce something. Maybe not a big something, but something. Something better. Something to beat the Browns. I think the Saints are going to win. The Chiefs have now been within one score of the Broncos and the Texans. Both can't make a playoff spot anymore, and the Chiefs have clinched the AFC West, even though they come within one score of those games. They've won both, but not easily. I don't know what's happening to them, but I think they're going to win here again. I think it might be one score again. The Seahawks have also been trending down. I think the Chiefs, this is a get-right game, and they'll be able to win.
The Chiefs play to the same level as their opponents sometimes. The Seahawks are a decent opponent, but not in the same league as the Chiefs. Chiefs' offense is averaging 429 yards a game. That's almost 30 more than the second-place Bills for yards per game. Their offense is clicking. Seattle's defense is ranked 28th. That's not going to be enough to stop the Chiefs. At home in December, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. I'm not betting against the Chiefs. They're going to win this game. The Giants got back to their winning ways last week, while the Vikings was kind of a tale of two different teams. I'm not sure which Vikings team shows up this week. The mistake-ridden team in the first half against the Colts, or the dominating team in the second half against the Colts. Either way, this is going to be a super close game. In one-score games this year, did you know the Vikings are 10-0 and the Giants are 8-2-0? That speaks to two good coaches. They win close games. That usually comes down to coaching. I'm going to take the Giants in this one. I expect Brian Daboll to pull it out. It'll be a close game, single score game for sure, but I think the Giants take it in the end.
The Vikings did just pull off the greatest comeback in NFL history last week. I think that the Vikings are going to win. They've won all of their close score games, and I think Zadarius Smith and Eric Kendricks as those two linebackers, I think they'll be able to stop Saquon for the most part. I'm taking the Vikings here. They're going to win another one. 12-3 Vikings. The Bengals will win this game. They've been winning a lot in the second half of the season, and the Patriots haven't. Jacoby Myers is a reason for one of those. Mostly. I don't know what would have happened in overtime. I think the Bengals will win this game, though. Joe Burrow will continue to make his case for MVP, and after this game, they're going to have to prepare for a big game against...
The Bengals have won 6 in a row. They're going to win 7 in a row. The Patriots battled with the Raiders. Bengals are hot in December. I'm taking the hot team, Bengals. In the last 2 weeks, the Texans have almost beaten the Cowboys and almost beaten the Chiefs, but they haven't been able to pull it out at the end. The Titans in the last 4 weeks have not won a game. They have a lot of injuries on defense, and because of that reason, I am taking the Texans to win their second game of the year in Tennessee. I think they'll be able to stop Derrick Henry enough, and they will beat the Titans.
I'm very surprised. Also, because I'm picking the Texans.
Oh, wow.
I think the Texans have been able to do it the past 2 weeks. You stole all my words. They were within the Cowboys, within the Chiefs. Chiefs and Cowboys are both probably better than the Titans. I think the Texans are going to beat the Titans. We might both be going crazy. Maybe because it's Christmas. Blizzard outside. I don't know.
The Texans are way better than a 1-12-1 team.
The Niners' defense is way too good for the Commanders. Brock Purdy has been playing great so far in this season, and I think the 49ers are going to win another game. Commanders, their playoff hopes are drowning right now.
You took the words right out of my mouth. the 49ers defense will dominate this game. Give it up to Kyle Shanahan. He's put in a game plan where Brock Purdy does not need to do anything spectacular, just control the football, and he's done that. He puts it off to his playmakers. They make the plays. 49ers are rolling. I'm taking the 49ers. This is the game of the week. Both defenses are great at putting pressure on the quarterback. In fact, the Eagles and the Cowboys lead the league in sacks. So I think it's going to come down to which quarterback handles pressure a lot better. Now, normally I would say Jalen Hurts. However, we don't know if he's playing yet. He's day to day. My guess is they're going to sit him and keep him fresh for the playoffs. And so Gardner Minshew will probably start. That's my guess. And I think the Cowboys will be able to put pressure on Minshew. I think they will have some revenge from their last game with the Eagles. And the Cowboys are going to win in Dallas.
I don't think so. I'm not sure about Hurts' status, but I still think the Eagles are going to win. Their defense played pretty well last week, at least in the second half. And the Cowboys, they haven't looked like themselves for the past 2 weeks. Hurts or not, I think the Eagles are going to win this game. Be 13-1. This game will be a good Saturday night game, and I think the Steelers are going to win. Your team. I think their defense is going to be able to pressure Derek Carr, forcing him to do bad reads and bad throws. I think the Steelers defense is going to carry the Steelers offense with Kenny Pickett coming back. I think the Steelers are going to win.
I think so too. The Raiders needed a miracle to beat the Patriots. I think the Steelers defense might be a little bit better than the Patriots defense. I agree with you. I think they're going to put pressure on Carr. Pickett's back. The offense is able to move the ball a little bit now. I'm looking for a Christmas Eve victory from the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Dolphins have lost 3 in a row, but they did look pretty good in the last game against the Bills. All 3 of those games were on the road. They're now at home facing a much weaker Packers team. Packers look good against the Rams, but the Rams defense is nowhere close to what the Dolphins can do. I think this is a get-right game for the Dolphins. I think they'll win big against the Packers.
Yeah, I also think this is a get-right game for the Dolphins. Packers' playoff hopes are slimly alive. They're going down the drain in this one. The Dolphins are finally playing at home. They deserved it after playing good last week. Not good enough. But I still think they're going to win here, still stay in the playoffs, and the Packers will be out of the playoffs. Both teams aren't what everyone expected them to be this year, and they're both out of playoffs, so this game doesn't really matter. It's also on Christmas Day, so not many people will be watching this. I think the Broncos will win this one, though. It's crazy. The Broncos on a 2-game winning streak, but I'm predicting it to happen. The Rams defense has not been playing good. Ramsey has not been playing like himself all year. Donald's injured. Stafford is coming back. I don't think it'll make a difference. Kupp's not there. Stafford won't know who to throw to.
This is the disappointment game of the year. Both teams very disappointing. Who will be the ultimate disappointment? The Rams. They have too many injuries. The Broncos defense is still playing well. I'm going to take the Broncos to win second week in a row.
Jeez, us picking the Texans and the Broncos.
What has this league come to? We're not sure if Colt McCoy is starting or if McSorley is starting, but it won't matter. We know that Brady is starting for the Bucs, and that's all that's going to matter. The Bucs are actually still a decent team. They looked good against Cincy to start with, and then just shut down. I don't think the Cards are in a very good place right now. They're falling apart. They're looking forward to next year already. The Bucs are still leading their division. They have something to play for. Bucs are going to win this one.
Yeah, the Bucs are 6-8 right now, but still atop their horrible division. On Christmas Day, I do think they're going to win this one. The Cardinals have not been playing good all year. Hopkins are not. The Bucs are going to win this one and be a whopping 7-8. The Chargers have been doing really well lately, and the Colts, last I checked, they just lost after having a 33-0 lead. I think the Chargers are going to win this one on Monday night. The Colts, their playoff hopes are over. They were over last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Chargers are going to keep going.
Yes, the Chargers are going to win this one. Derwin James could be back for this game. Chargers are getting healthy and starting to play really well at the right time. They're now in the playoffs. I think they hold that spot. Take the Chargers. Aiden's still the only one all year to get a bold prediction, but we'll see if we can't change that this week. My bold prediction for this week is the Steelers-Raiders game. Kenny Pickett is back, and I think the Steelers offense are actually going to put together a good week. I predict that Kenny Pickett will have over 300 yards of passing and 2 throwing touchdowns.
That's pretty good. My bold prediction, our Texans picks were kind of bold already, but we got to do another one here. My bold prediction, the Monday night game, I don't think the Chargers will be losing at any point in the game. They will have the lead the entire game or be tied with the Colts. They'll never be losing at any point in the game.
That's pretty bold considering the Colts led for most of their game last week against the Vikings.
Yeah. Okay, it's my turn for the last question this week. The Christmas week. It doesn't make a difference for my question. Who is your offensive and defensive rookie of the year so far?
Defensive rookie of the year for me so far would be Sauce Gardner. He's really changed that defense. Like I said earlier, people are avoiding him already in his rookie season. He's a shutdown corner. Very challenging to face Jets defense with him on board.
Yeah, leads the league in pass breakups.
Yep.
How about your offensive?
For offensive, I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker for Seattle. I think he's done a great job throughout the whole year. There's other rookies that have looked really well at different times of the year, but I think Walker has contributed the most to the Seahawks all year. That's why I take Walker for offensive rookie of the year so far.
Yeah, done pretty well this season.
Still 3 weeks to go, though.
Yeah. Well, that's it for our Week 16 picks. We wish you all a Merry Christmas. Please subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.